Okay, I'm standing beside a tombstone here which reads, "Here lies Marie Babin, wife of Charles Borromée Surette, deceased the 30th of December 1862 at the age of 110 years, last survivor of the deported Acadians of 1755. First 10 years of the 1800s is when the original settlers to Surettes Island did arrive. I remember my mother saying that when they did build their house, that the remains were quite evident at that time, and farming implements or hoes or something that had been used, as well as an outline of rocks, which is very quite well concealed right now.
Do you ever think about it? I mean,
I think about it. It's all night I think about it. So, if the books are true, if the story about the volcano is true, or Longfellow didn't know much about it, or...
You mean the history books?
Right. So it's hard, For sure, I mean, you can't believe it all. That's for sure.
My father caught that stone there. My father, he did put the gravestone there. She was buried there where the stone is. The last survivor.
Primary sources that I used were the people themselves. But recently, a historian from Fairhaven, Massachusetts, the Father Clarence D'Entremont, has brought new light on the topic as to the validity, if I can say it, of this. According to baptismal records, there was only one of Marie Babin found in all of Acadia. And according to that baptismal record of Marie Babin, I think, for example, that she must have been 28 and her husband 14 when they got married. It's not impossible. Or that I believe they must have been married around 9 or 10 years before they had their first child, and then after they had in rapid succession, they had children after that. Now again, that's not impossible. But these are the facts that just two that come to light right now that he uses.
My father was a fisherman and my mother stayed there. We didn't know of the outside world, nothing. It was like a world of your own. I think, I'm quite sure, that gap there must be where, up above, where my house was. Right there. That must be the place, yeah. Now, I think that must be the place that we can land. Even the shore, don't look the same. But It's the island never moved. That's for sure. It's beautiful. That's what we take. Oh, this is it. That's where we were born and brought up. What I like is a picture of the cellar with me in it. Well, here it is. I'm back in my old cellar. That's what it is. Can you imagine? Now see the steps of the cellar? Right there. They're all in form. I told you that the cellar was right there. See the steps? Yeah, that's how we got in. The form of the step stays right there in good shape. Oh, Edgar and them said that I would never find it. How would you remember? I said, I'll try. And I said, I got good memory enough that I'll know where my mother's house was. Don't worry. That I won't forget tomorrow. Here it is. We didn't have much trouble to find it.
No, we found it pretty easily.
Yeah, we did. You dream about things that you've done and you wake up and it's not true, but that's the way it feels. It seems to me that I never lived here.
They call him Soge, S-O-G-E. Him that got killed by pirates. Supposed to be that there was a pirate ship close to the island, which there was pirate ships around these places anyway, supposed to be. And he come out of his house. Some of them had landed in a small boat not too far from his place. And he come out of his house and they just shot him.
You know, he was looking
Right
what
there.
they were doing. They were killing this pig.
That's the story.
And pirates saw him and banged him there.
You've heard about it at school, huh? Never heard about Soul? On Wilson's Island, Abbott never told you that? He used to tell us the story when I was going to him.
What do you know about it? Your parents ever tell you anything?
No, just that it was just read on the stone. It was the last Acadian that was expelled or something.
I don't think there's anybody there.
Hmm?
I don't think there's anybody there. I think that's just a stone that has been put there or something. Because
It's too old. I mean, the parents, my parents aren't old at all. They're young, really. They're not. That stone's supposed to be pretty old.
We never think about that stuff. We've been born here and we live here. Like seems like the parents and grandparents and all that been living here all their lives too, and just seems like been going on and on.
Well, you're ashore, Wallace.
I put him ashore, don't you worry.
Don't you worry, says Wallace.
Want to see your picture?
Yeah.
Good.
Wait, I'll give her a little pull and you see her.
Okay.
Don't take no picture with me. Not now.
It does go, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Believe it.
Whoa! That's enough. Okay. That's enough.
Balance, sir. A little bit more. There you go. Huh? Why don't I get over the other side?
Kick that side, Leo. Kick that side, man. Kick that side. There he is, burn anyway. Back on. Well, must you also.
He had it all.
They don't want to do it.
Well fought. Right.
Hey, Wallace! Take that teeth. If you want to see me like that, you say, I'll leave you tomorrow. Look at that.
Mrs. Wallace escorting her out of the car at church. I find that a very nice picture of them. You got it there, John? And this is in church. This is Father Leopold Doctormo. He was our parish priest at the time. We missed him. He was such a good priest. I think he's priest now in Pamlico. And here they are again with Father Doctormo. And this is in here again, taken in the car, I think, after the ceremony. And here they are here again. I find that nice one. And there's my son Paul and Jimmy, and this is their wives. And there they are with the wedding cake, which I bought for them. I bought them all their wedding cakes. And this must have been an embarrassing moment to see her. She looks to be pretty red. I wish it was in color. That was taken in the hall. Yeah, it's a nice picture though. Wallace is pretty quiet tonight, eh? Yeah, if he had a few drinks in him, then you would have to you'd have to put the tape over his mouth to shut him up. When he's sober, he doesn't talk that much.
What's it like now there are no kids around?
Oh, it gets very lonesome. Really does. But there is.
What do you have now sort of to occupy your time, Pauline?
Looking after my grandchildren now. Okay. Yeah. But I watch soap operas a lot, you know. Who doesn't? And I've been knitting doilies, which I made a set for your mother. Did you see them?
Yes.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I've been making them and do the odd puzzle and, you know, visit the kids and, of course, clean up the house when I come home. It takes my time, you know. I get home around 6:30 every night. Always something to do around home. By the time I do my work, here's about time to go to bed anyway.
Any plans for the future?
No plans for the future. No plans at all. No. So anyway,
Well, I don't know how many headstones can you see, about 30, but I'm sure there's more than 30 people here. Without a doubt. Now, here at one point, there was definitely a marker, but it's gone. And maybe it's one of those, I don't know. This is not changed, this is what happened. Now, I'm sure that down there and over there and here, certainly there's somebody buried. But, you know, in 50 years' time, what is there going to be left of this? But I haven't got any idea what this might be. Oh, well, if they do that, go.
They just say she was the last survivor. Well, it's not enough for me. Those things should have been put in history then, so people would know.
That's all there is.
Oh yeah, it's true that she was buried there. That's what's her name?
Mary Babette?
Mary Babette, yeah.
But I'd never go for an old house. Not me. But lots of people come here and they say, oh, it's nice, this old house. I say, it's nice maybe for you, but it's not always very pleasant to keep up an old house. We have to paint it outside now because it looks bad. But that's it. You get many memories from it that you don't forget. And we were all happy. We were all happy. We lost our father, we worked, we had a good mother, she was very smart, and she always kept the family together when we were small, and so we got by. And we were happy.
Did any of you get married?
No. We took the work before we should have taken the work, and we got all fed up. He would have liked to move to Yarmouth, so myself too. When after my father died, we started to get, that we could work.
Yeah.
But my mother didn't like the idea of
so
leaving the house.
Down here.
So we stayed down here. Because the old folks then minded a lot leaving their home. Because their home was their treasures. But now it seems that it's not like that anymore. Yeah. Even though if you're with other people, even if it's your relatives, there's no place like home. If they're good to you, but there's no place like home. So as long as we can stay, that we have a little bit of health, I suppose we'll stay. But after that, we'll have to do the best we can.
And what happens to the house?
I don't know. I don't know.
They didn't want to live on the islands anymore. And then it left the old people, you know, and didn't want to leave, to live there alone, and they left. But the young one, after they grown up, they didn't stay that long, you know, my brothers and sisters, or these now, they had sons and that, and, you know.
There was a bridge here.
There was a bridge, see? And then there was that Billy, you know, I told you. Well, he lived that way. It made a curve like there, and that's where he used to live. But the Brown lived right here. The Browser, they called. There was people they called Browser. There was some too. Moulezong. There was a lot of Moulezong that live here. Reuben and Joel and them. And if you have a little sense in your head, how can you forget? I can't. I can't. Yeah, I remember Reuben and them, I remember. Oh, yes.
You think she was the last survivor of the deportation?
No, I never believed that. Not me.
But was she deported or what?
According to him, she wasn't deported.
So what's he purporting her to be?
Just wife of Charles Borromeo Surette.
I even heard some old people, well, I mean, they don't know. She could be there, but she could be on the island across there. We don't know. I mean, the stone is there, but...
He didn't disprove it, you know. He just brought some new light that make the thing questionable.
Do